All right, so let's go ahead and get started. You'll see that we have the slide that we have selected is very large and we can see it. And we'll switch to the next slide. This is your title slide. You'll put your name here. So my name's Sarah Dennis, so I highlighted that area and I put Sarah Dennis. This line here is going to be where you put the class that you're in. Okay. Click to the next slide. You're going to write about a paragraph about yourself, five or more sentences, right about here. So I'm passionate about creating art and teaching. That would be my first sentence that lets the viewer or the reader know what I'm going to be talking about. So the next couple of sentences that I put in here would be related to me creating art or teaching. And of course, yours is going to be different because you're going to be writing about yourself. The next slide talks about maybe some skills or expertise that you may have. I've included in here that I've been teaching for 23 years. And I have skills in teaching Photoshop. I've taught media arts. I could put more things in here. Obviously, with 23 years of experience, there's a lot of different things that I've picked up along the way. So anything that you might feel like that would be helpful to add that's connected to the digital portfolio, any past art classes that you've taken, you can count the art class that you're currently taking as experience and put that in here. The next slide, simply a slide in there that says what's coming next. So these are portfolio samples of your work. Okay. And next one, these are two pieces of artwork that I've done this year. What you're going to do is you'll simply insert your images into the slide. Right here, the number one, you will put the title of the artwork. I have a hard time thinking of titles sometimes, but I typically just, like if it's a portrait of somebody, I usually just put the name. In this case, you could put the name of the assignment that you completed, and that could be the title of your artwork. Medium here, that would be the type of art materials that you use to create the artwork. For example, if it's a photograph, um, then it would be photography. If it's a drawing, if you used colored pencils, like if in this case I use colored pencils, so the medium would be colored pencils. And then I would put the date here. Underneath, you're going to write a couple of sentences explaining something about your artwork. In this case, I've put Stanley as one of my heroes. He created so many interesting comic book characters, and that's my two sentences. So this other one is an example of a digital drawing that I did of Bob Marley right here. I then took that digital drawing and imported it into Photoshop and then added the text. These are some words, lyrics from from one of his songs, and then I finished it out in Photoshop. So the medium for this one could be digital drawing. You can see again that Bob Marley is one of my heroes. I would then could add something on there, I used Procreate, which is the drawing program that I use to draw this, to create a digital drawing. And then finished the work in Photoshop. Okay. Then when you're finished with the first slide, you can go to the next one, and you'll see that I've included several slides in here because you need to put a minimum of 10 of assignments that you completed. So this would be the third assignment. You'll simply click on here, and the way that you insert the artwork is you click insert, and then it can be pictures. What I did ahead of time is I created a folder with all of my artwork, and I put that on my desktop of my computer. Um, if you're working with something else, you're going to want to create a folder that has the artwork in there. Then I'm going to click on what I want to put in there next, which is this photograph here, and then I'll click insert. You'll notice that, hey, it came up pretty big, so I can resize it by grabbing it and dragging here and putting it right there. This is a photograph of my dog Mavis. So I could just name it Mavis. The medium would be digital photography. Okay. And then I would put the date, and then self-reflection. Uh, Again, just one to two sentences saying something about the artwork. You can talk about the subject matter. Um, this, oops, forgot my eye. This is a photograph of my dog, Mavis. Um, I could also say something about Mavis. It's hard to take a photo because she moves a lot. Mavis moves often, and then period. Okay, and then you can come over to your next one. Um, Click on this area, making sure that you've selected the slide, insert picture. Again, I'm going back to the assignment folder, and I'll put this is a piece of fan art. I'm not even sure what character this is. I did not create it, but I drew this example of fan art for a student as a gift. Okay. Um, and the project name, if I knew who the character was, I could put the name there, but I'll just put fan art. And again, this is a digital drawing as well. So I would select and then put in, you know, digital drawing. I think I did this on the Wacom tablet. Um, and then again, I would add something. This is a digital drawing. I might talk about what program I used of a character. I used a Wacom tablet, and I think I did the drawing in Sketchbook Pro. Drew the character using Sketchbook Pro. And I want to add something on there like this is not my, so letting people know that I'm not claiming that I created this character. This is not my original character creation. I didn't create this character. Let me try not to get too wordy. This is fan art, period. I didn't create the character. Period. So next you can see that we've got this slide finished up. We'll select the part of the slides over here, and you'll see that I've created additional slides for you, indicating that you need to put your project 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. If you have more work that you would like to input, you can. I'm going to show you how to duplicate a slide that is already here. So I have this highlighted over here, and I'm going to right click on that image, and you'll notice that there's going to be a dropout panel, and where it says duplicate slide, I just simply click that. Okay, so that's the one we had, and we copied it and created it, and you'll notice that it created the exact same thing, but we're going to need to change the and add additional um, numbers here. So that's project 11, project 12, and then we would finish these slides out. Now, the next slide that you're going to complete are career highlights and awards. If you have any, you could put that here. Okay. And the last slide for your PowerPoint would be your contact information. You can see that my name is here. I would put my email address. You do not have to do this because, I mean, I would like for you to put your name here, but if you were going to use this as a portfolio, digital portfolio, something that you were sending to a prospective employer or to a college or to a program that you wanted to show your work, you could put your contact information in here. Oops. But I'm just going to put my school email, sdennis@dorchester2.k12.sc.us. Okay. And that comes up as a hyperlink because it is a working email. Here, the image here can be, you don't have to put a picture of yourself, just another piece of artwork that you feel like that you did really well on. And I want to also take this opportunity to remind you that whenever you're creating anything on the computer, you want to make sure that you save often. You use file, save as, and I would like for you to name it with your last name and then digital portfolio so that it doesn't get confused with somebody else's work. Also, when you go back to look at the work that you have, if you haven't named it with something that's recognizable, you will forget what it is. So I'm going to click Save. Yes. And that should complete the tutorial for how to create your digital portfolio.